Thought Media Network is proud to present Cosmic Prayers, your weekly shift, Mondays at 11 Mountain Time, with your host, Laura Topper. The Cosmic Prayers, live from the UK. And now, here she is, Laura Topper.
Hello, hi, and welcome to the Cosmic Prayer. I am just so excited to be here right now on Monday at 6 o'clock here in the UK, and earlier in the day if you're tuning in from anywhere else around the world or in the States. It's just so great to be with you wherever you are and whoever you are. I'm Laura Topper. This is the Cosmic Prayer, and you are in the right place at the right time, whether you're watching this now or you watch it later on catch up. This is an exciting show that we have today. The Cosmic Prayer is here to inspire you to use prayer as a daily spiritual practice and to expand on that practice. And each week guests come on and share their experience of prayer and their demonstrations and how prayer has really benefited their life. So today is just another step forward on the Cosmic Prayer with that, because we have an incredible guest that's actually present in the studio right now. However, what you're going to see is a pre-recording of a conversation that happened less than 24 hours ago with Reverend Prince Fleet Easton. I'm so excited. Reverend Prince Fleet Easton is an incredible force of nature. What a being, what an amazing person. He is an entertainer and a spiritual, just an amazing person. He has a music ministry with Interfaith Spiritual Center, and he inspires people through his songs, his message, his voice, and his heart and his wisdom to really live in that place of love. And I just am so excited that Prince has said yes to being here right now. Now, the extra special treat is that we recorded it yesterday because of the internet. Sometimes is a little unstable where Reverend Fleet is. And so we wanted to record it to make sure it was a definite, certain conversation that everyone can really enjoy. However, Reverend Fleet is here at the moment in backstage, and he's ready to answer any comments that come through on Facebook, because this will be shown right now. And he is here, and he's just so excited to be here. And I'm excited that he is here with us, so that whatever comes up for you through this conversation, you can ask Reverend Prince Fleet right now, and he will be ready, tapping away to reply and answer your questions. So welcome to the Cosmic Prayer, and thank you for tuning in to New Thought Media Network, and let's enjoy this amazing. And so now let's welcome to the Cosmic Prayer, Reverend Prince Fleet Easton. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Laura. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
I am just so grateful and honored that you are here. Reverend Prince Fleet Easton, what an amazing thing for you to be here. We've tried before, and now you're here again, very present, and welcome.
Well, I'm very honored that you asked me to be here today. And in your honor, I wore my crown. Most people maybe not know that because I'm Prince Fleet Easton, that I am a prince. And so I wanted to bring this today for you to enjoy and everyone to enjoy. It's very heavy, and I know you would love to have it.
I would. Although I do have something in your honor. I had to get them out. I'm sorry. I had to bring along because I knew that you would be wearing your crown. So I did bring along my cosmic pom-poms just to welcome you in. Welcome to the Cosmic Prayer.
I like a little blend and sparkle.
Absolutely. Don't we all? So what an amazing, I mean, I just, last time that you were here on the show, you weren't yet a reverend, and now you have been, you know, ordained a reverend, and with all of the amazing work that you do and what you share. And I know that your ministry is all about your songs and your singing and bringing that to people's hearts and people's lives. And, you know, this show is all about prayer. And so the first question I really wanted to open up for you is, how has prayer informed your life? Because you have the most incredible life of, oh, so many, you know, you're a prince and a reverend.
Well, you know, my prayer, I think my only prayer really is that God will supply. It's a prayer, it's an affirmation, and that's what I live by whenever things may be looking scary, or if I feel I'm in lack, or if something is needed, I just say God will supply, and that's my prayer, and it always comes through, and it's always answered. Always.
Yes. And that's so simple.
Mm-hmm.
We have to believe that, though, don't we?
Right.
You have to
Right.
believe.
And
I mean,
I believe that in my deep soul, because I've seen I've seen it come to fruition. So it's happened so many times that now I just know and I trust. I just go, God will supply, and God always supplies.
So what are some of the demonstrations that things that you know have happened, and because of that level of faith that you have, that you let go, and it's come into fruition, materialized?
Well, being in show business, not only a minister, a reverend, and stuff, but I am also a singer in show business. And the situation that we've been living through now for almost a year impacted my life. And I have not been on stage since last March. But, I just said, you know what? God will supply. And what's interesting is God did supply. So years ago, I was an actor. And before I moved to Florida, I did a lot of movies and television in Orlando, Florida. And when I moved to California, I decided I was just going to focus on my singing. And once I established that would open doors to other avenues instead of trying to do them all at the same time. Because I've had agents and managers say to me, oh my God, you do so many different things. We don't know what to do with you, and we don't know where to put you. You would be better off to focus on one thing, become successful at that, become known as that, and then go into the other doors. So that's why I spent the last 13 years in California doing that. Now, present, I said, okay, God will supply. I keep getting movie roles. I'm not auditioning. They're just coming to me. Incredible opportunities. As a matter of fact, I haven't stopped working at all other than being on stage. But now I'm involved in all these different spirituality companies. I've done a couple movies now since we've been on lockdown. And I just was contacted by a British pop star. I think you saw my posting. And said that I've been wanting to work with you for a long time. It's been in the back of my mind, and I would love to do a pop duet with you. And I would also like to do a classic ballad with you. And I said, I think that would be absolutely fantastic. And I was really blown away. And I'll tell you why. Because America's Got Talent was pursuing me for quite a while. And I really wasn't wanting to really do it. And I just felt this part of my career, I'm not a person that likes competition, because I believe there's room for everybody. And how do you judge one against another when everybody has great talent? So, but I did. And so I had a private meeting with one of the head people, not mentioning any names.
Okay.
And I could tell when I left, and you would know who it is, somebody famous.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That you could just tell that our energies just did not connect.
Okay.
And I could just feel it when I was driving home. So what I thought, minute I was offered this to do this pop song, I thought, isn't this funny? Because this is the same person that discovered this pop singer who wants to work with me.
doesn't spirit work immaculately?
So
Immaculately.
I went around through the back door.
Well, actually, the front door.
Oh,
Yeah, whichever door, it doesn't matter, does it?
well,
It's amazing.
I'm bypassing them. So,
Yeah, yeah. I love it. And that is that whole thing of planting a seed in our consciousness and not holding on to it and letting go. And then boom, it comes in the most incredible of ways. You know, like it's like how we've met. I mean, I know that since lockdown, we're all online and Facebook and it's allowing us to connect and find each other.
Well, you know,
Find each other in consciousness.
Right before this happened, I had a tarot reading, and the tarot reading said, your career is about ready to move in a different direction that you never dreamed of. That it's going to continue, but it's going to shift. And what it did was it took us from live to online. And I like today after our service, I'm the musical director at Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide.
I want to talk about that.
And we were talking, and I said, you know what? Here's what's interesting. This is the new norm.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't adjust to it and get on the train, you're going to be left behind, because this is not going to stop once we end what we're going through. This is going to be part of our new world, and everyone will be on here eventually. So, you know, you want to get on that train and learn to do what you need to do to keep moving forward. And I just thought it was so amazing that it said that these things, because I never had a desire. I mean, I had been asked to go online and do things, but I never had a personal desire inside to really pursue that. And what this did, Mother Nature pushed everyone to another level of technology.
That's right. That's right. And it's
God, Mother Nature and God.
Oh, look, well, it is God, isn't it? You know, it's all God. And I used to have a little bit of an aversion to Facebook and being on Facebook. And before lockdown and last year, I decided to come back onto Facebook. And I'm so pleased that I listened, and I did at that time, because it allowed me to you know, to meet people and connect and find friendship, real friendship, not just Facebook friendship, real friendship. And it's been amazing.
I was going to add, and all of my career, and actually the last 13 years especially, I kept saying, I want to be global. I want to be global. I want to be all over the world. Well, my vision was of me in planes flying all over the world, concerts and things. Well, I became global, but it wasn't the vision that I had thought the way it was going to come. It came, but it came in a different vision. Like they say, you know, we make plans and God laughs, because God has his own plan of how it's going to happen. But I had this vision, but, you know, and that's exactly what's happened now. And I'm doing shows all over the world, and from the comfort of my own home. And isn't that amazing that we don't have to go get on a plane and we have to fly there to do that? We can do this right through the internet.
Absolutely. I mean, today we were the music for CSL Concordia, Rhode Island. And here we are, you know, in Eastbourne, a little town in Eastbourne on the Sussex coast in the UK, so, you know, being of service in Rhode Island. It just feels so amazing to have that. So amazing. And I want to ask you, you know, because you are you're an entertainer, and you have that incredible knack. You have a way with you of bringing your songs into people's hearts. And when I hear you sing, I hear, you know, your songs are prayers. The way you sing is a prayer. Your voice and the vibration and your consciousness, it's all a prayer. And I know when you're singing, I've heard you with Interfaith Ministries, with Reverend Dr. Sharon, and the way that you bring your song, your ministry to all of the members there and people watching you online. But I want to ask you, how do you differentiate when you're singing in your ministry and you're singing on a film set, for a film, for a movie. Is it all the same for you?
It's all the same.
All the
because
same.
I always tell people it's like I'm channeling. I'm aware of what I'm doing, but there's something else happening at the same time. I'm there, but I'm not there. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So I know that, and I know what I'm able to do with my voice and how I can touch people. And I always laugh when I see people crying after I do certain songs, and people laugh because I say, well, I know I must be doing my job if I can make people cry.
Yeah.
I'm touching something deep within their soul that's resonating with whatever the words, the music, the presentation, whatever I'm presenting is having some kind of effect on their spirit.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And how did you come to this teaching? Unity, science of mind.
Well, as from a very young age, I've always been on a spiritual journey or a quest, and I never really knew there was a place or a name for it because I was very interested in all the world religions, and I would study all the different things from Zen Buddhism and right down the line, and I would take like bits and pieces and stuff and apply them to my life, and thinking that I was creating my own religion, I
Philosophy.
guess, or my spirituality. And then in 2000, I was living in Florida, and that's actually when my main journey began. I think I've spoken to you before about this. I have a voice that guides me, but it not only speaks to me, it speaks to others around me to give me messages.
Yeah.
So I got a call from a lady that I knew from the nightclub circuit, and she called up, and I knew nothing about unity. I knew nothing about science of mind. I knew there was spiritual communities out there, but I didn't know what they were about or anything about it. Let's put it that way. So she calls me up and she said, "Oh, Fleet, our soloist has passed. A voice told me to call you. Would you be interested in becoming our soloist?" Well, of course, I didn't know what unity was, and I didn't know about, new thought ideas and stuff. And I said, well, I can sing that kind of music because I thought it was religious, type of music. And I said, I don't think so. And she says, well, we're going to pay you this amount of money. And I said, well, you know what? I can sing anything. I can sing anything for that. So that started my journey. But then it took about a year, and the voice started talking to me very strongly and guiding me. And I learned very early that whenever that voice spoke, that I needed to listen to it and do exactly what it told me to do. It led me to my home in Florida. It led me to my In His Presence album that I did step by step. It spoke to all the different people involved in that project that didn't even know each other. And it spoke to each one of them. And when each thing was finished on the album, when I went to pay them, they said, and then honestly, God, each one of them said the same thing. Fleet, you don't owe us anything. A voice came to me and said, I am to be an angel on this project and gift this to you. And that's what happened through
This is
the whole
amazing.
journey. Mm-hmm. And then how I ended up in California was, I was doing movies and television in Florida, and I was already on my spiritual quest. But I was singing for 5,000 people in a concert with a 52-piece orchestra. And while I was on stage, the voice came in and said, you must go to Palm Springs, California. You have to be there to meet the people who are going to take you to the next place in your life and career. I knew nobody here, but I knew that when it spoke, I had to do it. So I had 5 jobs. I was singing with an opera company. I was starring in a theatrical production company, singing with orchestras. And I had a television. I was co-hosting a television show called Brevard Notes. So I got up and walked away from all 5 of those jobs, trusting and knowing that I was to be here for a reason. And the whole way I drove 3,000 miles by myself. Everyone thought I was crazy and they were all upset. But I said, you know, I'm driving to Orlando every day. Round trip is 400 miles. What's the difference if I just keep going 400 miles in a straight line?
Yeah.
And I just keep going. And you know what? Honest to God, this is the truth. I'm driving. I felt just like Lewis and Clark. I'm trudging away through the wilderness so all my family can follow behind me. And that was my drive. And my whole time while I'm driving, that's all I thought about. And I had to go there because I knew I had a destiny to meet.
It's incredible. I just love hearing you and hearing your life, and you're telling these stories, which aren't stories, it's your life, what's happening, and how you are so open and available. And I think that for me, that's a part of praying, isn't it? It's the being willing to listen as well to the direction that comes with the prayer, because we're always then guided. It's like Ernest Holmes says, treat and move your feet. You know,
well, I've learned that when I've learned when it speaks, if I don't listen right away, this happened once. Only happened once, because I was arguing with it. It kept getting louder and louder. And after the 3rd time of it yelling at me, I said, okay.
Yes.
And people say, well, how do you know that what the voice is? And I don't know. I don't know if it's God, if it's my higher consciousness, if it's an angel. I don't know who it is, but I know that it's a powerful voice, and it's not my voice. I can definitely distinguish the voice from my own voice. So I don't know, like I said, higher consciousness, maybe God, angel sitting on my shoulder.
Maybe. And yet it's all God, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we are in God. So it's it doesn't matter how you define it or what name you give it. It's amazing. And
I think that's a perfect lead into a song.
I was just gonna say, and your song that you've chosen for now, it's called One Power, which I love, because we have a song called One Power, and it's just like, oh great, I want to hear your One Power.
Well, I thought this would be a great lead in. Maybe she's leading into this.
I'm leading you in. I'm going to mute while you.
This is a beautiful song written by Mr. Daniel Nahman, and I was telling Diego earlier, I've done his music since probably 2000. He's a famous New Thought songwriter. I'm sure you've heard of Daniel Nahman. And he used to sing for Dr. Sharon at her spiritual center in San Diego. So I always wanted to meet him, and it never happened. Well, when I was in Florida once visiting, after I moved here, I went back. I saw where I used to be the soloist at the Unity Center there. I thought, oh my God, he's having a concert there on Sunday night. I've got to go. So after the concert, I went up and we started talking. Well, here's the funny part. I had to go 3,000 miles to meet him. And I found out that he only lives an hour and a half from me.
I love it.
Well, I'm going to sing a beautiful song written by him called One Power.
One Power. I love that.
One power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and we see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and we speak of it with every word we say. mysterious until we know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Asham, or Heaven's Door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? The power of the love that lives in you and me. One power, oh, one power. It's just one power. We speak so many languages, different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget in our hearts we're all the same. We'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such differences were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Asham, or Heaven's Door. It's Mohammed, it's your mind, it's your soul, it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love that lives within you. One power, oh, one power, one power, one power. Oh, it's just one power, oh, one power. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby. The serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon, for it's love that's most deep. It's one power, oh yes, it's just one power. One power, oh, it's just one power. The power of the love that lives forever in you and in me. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, oh, one power. It's just one power.
Oh, Prince, Reverend Prince Fleet.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that song, that prayer to this show, to the Cosmic Prayer. And I know I was crying, there were tears in my eyes, and I'm sure the listeners, when listening to this, are going to be touched and moved.
Thank you.
From that. Really beautiful.
Thank you.
And you're living your prayer, aren't you? You're living it step by step. And how did Inner Faith Ministries come into your, I mean, because I know you're there every week, and you are the music ministry for Reverend Dr. Sharon Stroud, who's also been on the Cosmic Prayer, and And how did that come into your consciousness? What happened?
The voice. The voice.
The voice.
When I moved to California, I found that there was a Unity church here in Palm Springs. So I started going on a regular basis. Well, I became friends with all the congregation, and they were looking for a new soloist. Well, I really went after it because I knew my job. I know what I do. Well, the main minister, Dr. Ann Martin, she had started developing dementia. So her son took it over. Well, energies don't always work together. And so I started out in the front row. I'm a front row seater. And as things didn't develop, I kept moving to the back, moving to the back, moving to the back, till the last day I went. I was sitting with my head against the wall going, why are you here? Why are you putting yourself through this?
Yeah.
Obviously, this is not where you belong. So I left. But I had met a lady who was from Canada. And now we're talking into 6 months later, and I get a call out of the blue. And she said, Fleet, she said, a voice came to me and said, I needed to tell you that there is a spiritual center at the Camelot Theater. And I said, well, I've never heard of it. She said, I think that's where you belong. So I didn't go immediately. I waited a couple of weeks and I went and I sat down in the front row, of course. And the musical director here, he was leaving. They had been treating for 3 months for a replacement, and now they had 1 week left. And as I was singing, he heard me singing along with the congregational songs. So afterwards, he approached me and he said, are you a professional singer? I said, well, yes. Why, yes, I am. He says, do you have a demo? I said, well, yes, I do. Well, then I spoke to Doc. And here's what's funny. You know how we have soul families?
Of
And
course.
I don't know, Robert Schwartz. I'm a very
Here we are.
Yeah. And we have at least 17 immediate soul families that we return each time, changing roles and, to learn each side of everything. So I walked up at the end of the service up to Dr. Sharon and I said, I know you. And she said, I know you too. So she said, I told her what was going on. She said, sing something. I sang something and she said, you're hired. And so that was 13 years ago. In March, I'll be starting my 14th year there as the musical director and soloist.
And Reverend.
And now Reverend.
Yes. Incredible. So I have one more question for you because you have an amazing song again to sing, another prayer that you're going to sing as a prayer that we usually do a spiritual mind treatment here on the Cosmic Prayer at the end. I feel though that your song that you're going to sing is a spiritual mind treatment. It's a prayer. It's a prayer. So I was going to ask you for right now, this time, what we are going through. And I don't want to go on about, we know what we're going through in consciousness and what is happening and the shift, the paradigm shift that we are. What is it that you can, your word that you'd like to speak for listeners here, if they are feeling that uncertainty, because we all are on some level feeling it, and unsafety, insecurity, not sure what's happening next, or that we've gone on lockdown here in the UK, full lockdown, like March last year again, and that's scary for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And how would you say, what is it that your message on that to bring people back to truth?
Well, first of all, it's just part of nature. It's part of nature. We had this 100 years ago. We went through it. We'll come out of it again. It's just part of the cycle of life. As for those who are shut in, I can't say that I understand what they are experiencing, because I don't come from their place. But I can say that just know that this too will pass. I knew a rabbi. I want to share this. I brought something up real quick. I knew this rabbi, and he wore a ring here and a ring here, matching. This one said, engraved, it says, "This too shall pass." This one said, "This too shall pass." This represented happiness. This represented sadness. That they're just cycles of life that we go through. And know that it's not forever. That we will all come out of this. And this is a great awakening. This is bringing something about in our world. And of course, I wasn't around 100 years ago, but I'm sure there was an awakening at that time when they came out of the pandemic of that time.
Absolutely.
We're coming out also of an awakening, but this time we're in a spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
We are being, like I said, it's opening up different it's a chance to bring people together. We've been isolated. You don't know what you have until you don't have it anymore. Mm-hmm. And what it does, it makes you learn to appreciate. We were living our lives. We were, as myself, I was on red carpets and going to parties and everything. And all of a sudden that was taken away. It became such a norm of normal life that we take things for granted. But when we lose something and it's taken away, then we realize the value of it, of what we had. But no, this is just temporary. Everything in life is just temporary. This too shall pass. Just hold on. Be strong and know that you were loved. Even if you don't understand it, know that you were loved. Yeah. That there's a whole community like us. There's a community out there who are praying for resolution and peace and love to be restored once again in our world.
And that is happening. And that is happening.
And it is happening.
And it is happening. Yeah. Oh, Reverend Prince Fleet, thank you. Your words, your intention. I just feel so grateful that you're here on the Cosmic Prayer and sharing. And thank you for your light.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so honored to be with you. I was talking with Dr. Sharon today. She sends her love. And I said, you had me in your video and we've talked off screen several times and all. Yeah. And there's just such a wonderful connection. And I'm grateful and honored that I have these opportunities to share what I do with the world and to be a part of your world and Diego's world.
And Diego's world and New Thought Media Network. Reverend
and
Robert. Yes, it's a big world. So Reverend Prince Fleet Easton, you are on Facebook. I know you are. And for people to find you, they can just tap in Prince Fleet Easton. That's the easiest way to find you, isn't it?
Well, I have several. I have the Crown Prince of Palm Springs, Fleet Easton. They can check me out there. I have just Fleet Easton, my musical site. And then my personal site is Prince Fleet Easton. And I always tell people, if they want to friend me, always message me first. Yes. And tell me that you saw me on the Cosmic Prayer. And then I know, we're living in a world where not everyone is honest or upfront. So if you want to be in my world, in my circle, just send me a private message and I would love to add you to my family of friends.
Fantastic. And then people can know what you're doing, where you are, the movies you're in, the interfaith ministry that you are an incredible part of, and they can be in your world. Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah,
they can go on to Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide, and they can
Yeah.
check out our service every Sunday. And we do a live service at 10:30 every Sunday morning. So if you'd like to join us, that's Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide of Palm Springs.
It's a rocking service. I love it. It's a fantastic service.
It was fun today. I took the 59th
So
Street Bridge song, the Simon and Garfunkel, and I rewrote the words. Hello, God, what you knowin'? Can you see my spirit growing?
Brilliant. We're going to have you come back and do a bit of a jamming session. I can feel that happening on the Cosmic Prayer.
I would love that. Thank you so much.
So are you going to close with a prayer?
Yes, I'm going to sing another beautiful Daniel Naaman song called You're Just Like Me, because as the topic of today is oneness, and we're all the same.
That's it.
We may have different looks, different colors, different names, but inside we're all the same. We're all the little small child, going through life, experiencing everything together, but we're all the same. We may not look it, but we are.
We are. Wonderful. Good.
You've had to be strong for so long. You don't remember who you are. But when I see you, I see myself too. I know the child that's hidden in your heart. You're only human like me. You're lonely sometimes like me. You're longing for love like me. You're just like me. I know the ones who most hurt you are those you've trusted most of all. But to forgive them is to live again and heal the heart of that child so small. You're only human like me. You're lonely sometimes like me. You're longing for love like me. You see, you're just like me. We cry for a safe place, a quiet place to be. The soul can show its true face, where love lies free. You're only human like me. You're lonely sometimes like me. You're longing for love like me. You see, you're just like me. Oh, you're just like me. You're just like me. I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you, Laura.
Not hearing me. I know you're hearing me now. Thank you so much. You're here now in real time.
Oh.
This is fantastic. It's so great to be with you here, and for the conversation yesterday, and for the way that you're inspiring so many people and me and everyone, the listeners here right now. And I know the listeners have been popping up their questions, and we'll both be keeping an eye on the chat, won't we? And
Yes.
answering anything that comes up. Thank you, Reverend Prince Fleet Easton.
Well, thank you so much. You know, it's been such an honor, and it's been a wonderful experience being with you, and I want to thank you so much, and I want to thank your engineer Diego for doing such a wonderful job, and I'm truly blessed to have you and Diego and all my spiritual family in my life. You make a big difference to the world, and you make a big difference to me.
I want to say exactly the same back to you. I'm going to ditto that over and over and over. Thank you so much for being here. And for anybody that, you know, is just finding you and discovering you now, or that knows you, you know, you're on Facebook, all of your links will be here. I know Diego, our amazing show producer, has put everything there for people to find you, and they can message you from here and know what you're doing, because you've got exciting things coming up. I know you have.
Well, you know, I was also going to say, if people would like to learn more about me, they can just Google Prince Fleet Easton, and I think I have like 6 pages on Google. So if you want to know anything personally about me and my journey and what I've done, you can always find it there.
Fantastic. Thank you, Reverend Prince Fleet Easton.
Thank you. And I'm going to say,
thank you,
future Reverend Laura Topper.
Ah, yes, in the making.
In the making.
In the making.
Have a beautiful day. Oh, yes.
Thank you. No, I was just going to say out to the listeners here, if this is, you know, this has really touched my heart today. You're here on the Cosmic Prayer. This is New Thought Media Network. And this network is here because of you in so many ways. And if this has fed you and nourished you and topped up your heart, then you are so welcome to leave your love offering here, because we know that when we are sharing in all ways, you know, that just gets multiplied. And so if you feel to leave a donation, love offering, there is a link here underneath this. This goes into the New Thought Media Network ministry. Reverend Robert is the senior minister here and doing the most incredible work with everybody here on the network, giving their love and knowledge and wisdom on a daily basis. I'm just so excited to be here, and so thankful for Reverend Prince Fleet Easton for coming in, and I know he'll come back again. We have the Cosmic Prayer Facebook page that you can join. That's a group page. Please go ahead and join that, and you can see past series as well of this broadcast, and you can go to New Thought Media Network to also find all of the things that are happening on their website page, NTM. Had to think about that for a minute. Oh, thank you, Diego. NT Media, got to get that right, .org. And also next Saturday, myself and Jason have our Cosmic Concert coming up through New Thought Media Network, and we welcome you into that. You can find more details about that on the Cosmic Prayer page and on the newthoughtmedia.org website. So another amazing broadcast, and until next time on the Cosmic Prayer, stay healthy and well, and be well, and love to you, and see you next time on the Cosmic Prayer.
Thank you for listening to Cosmic Prayer, your weekly shift with Laura Topper on the New Thought Media Network. If you've enjoyed this programming, please tell a friend and join us again next week for Cosmic Prayer, your weekly shift with Laura Topper.